We are live. Just checking, he says. Hello and good evening and welcome to another edition of Talking Bulls. We have got with us tonight two of the stars of the show, two of the main men, one a hero to be and the other one, the young pretender. We've got Captain James McCulloch, been club captain now for a couple hundred games. And we've also got Michael Monaghan, also known as MJ. We'll get to MJ in a minute. And we'll also find out why Captain Kirk is called Captain Kirk. And it might surprise you to find out it's nothing to do with Star Trek. So, lads, thanks for joining us. Great to see you. How has the lockdown been treating you since we lost our football a couple of months ago?
Do you want to go first, Kirk, or me?
I'll go. It's been quite good in sense of that the footy lads have been training once a week together and doing like little online Zoom classes and stuff. But the whole routine of like your Tuesday, your Thursday, your Saturday, it's difficult for a lot of us. You know, I think we do find it quite tricky, especially because we're all close mates as well. You know, we've got a really strong dressing room, and when you're going from seeing your mates 3 times a week to nothing, it is difficult. But I think we do keep in contact all the time. You know, our WhatsApp groups and stuff, and that definitely helps us.
Yeah, I mean, for me, probably the first 4 weeks I was all right, to be honest. I wasn't too bad, but I think after that it started getting a bit harder, like, and I try and get out, walk the dog, and do as much as I can. But to be honest, it's right now, like, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. It's just the same thing every day, and the worst part about it is not knowing when we're coming out of it. But I suppose it's the same situation for everyone, and it's the footy. The footy, not having a footy is massive, because whatever's going on in your life, it's always a release for anyone. So then, like, few hours you're there, it's a release from anything, and we obviously haven't got that, and it's looking like it's probably going to be 6-7 months from when we stopped to when we're going to start again, which is tough.
Have you, MJ, found it a little bit harder because you haven't known this group of players as long as Kirky has? Because we've got players there, been there 3-4 seasons, and you've got that relationship established, and they're people you can contact during times like this. For yourself, you've moved around a little bit more over the last few years, and you don't know these lads the same way. Have those online sessions helped to get you through the lockdown, or have you had to sort of reach out to older contacts?
To be honest, I wouldn't really. I'll be totally honest. I wouldn't really say the sessions help me personally that much. I'm not one who, you know, if I go out and do exercise or whatever, it makes me feel better. It doesn't really. I've certain other things that help me, but in terms of the lads and not knowing them as well, I've played for a lot of clubs, and I've never been closer to lads as mates off the pitch with these lads now than I have been before. Obviously, I've had a couple of spells here before I went to Australia, and the likes of Kirk, and, you know, a lot of them really, we are really close mates, and we talk about stuff other than footy. So it's not really, yeah. I'd probably say I feel like I've been here for like 4 or 5 years rather than like a couple of spells. I'm that close with everyone. Like,
that's great. Kirky, for you, as the captain, and knowing some of these players, seeing younger players like MJ coming into the group, do you sort of take it on yourself as the skipper to make sure these guys are all right and making sure that they're staying involved with the group?
To be honest, David, I think that the whole dressing room itself is pretty strong. You know, I don't think it falls on myself personally. You know, it always helps to have a little bit of banter and stuff to ease the lads in. But the dressing room itself is quite strong. It's a welcoming dressing room. You know, some people find it difficult to come in because we are all close mates off the pitch. But, you know, the likes of Alex, Mark, Flem this season, Mitch come in and just settled right in with us and really helped us kick on this season. So I wouldn't say it was down to me personally. It's more the group of lads themselves. We've got a really good group.
That's great. So what we're saying there is, we heard it from Craig and Lee in the session that the online sessions have been really good. You've been trying to do a variety of things, trying to keep you guys ticking over, getting the fitness lady getting involved with you as well. So the group sort of self-manages. Away from that, and with no football to look forward to, what else has been sort of keeping you going during the lockdown? Kirky, you go first.
Yeah, I bought a spin bike, so I've been hammering that, to be fair. I know a few of the lads know about it because don't shut up about it.
Yeah, you should have said.
Yeah, I take the dog out quite often. I walk here quite a lot. There's a group of us that play on Warzone. You know, we hammer that. MJ is the MVP. Like, you know, he's got 150 odd wins, I think, on Warzone. So he's good on that. And you know, I'm a teacher, so like we haven't really stopped. You know, I spend my days pretty much recording lessons all day for my 4 and 5 year olds, and that's pretty much what I've been up to.
MJ?
Yeah,
Go on, MJ.
me, yeah. So I mean, I haven't worked. I'm a barber, so I'll probably be one of the last to go back. But it's not like I can work from home or nothing. But it's just for me, I've got a dog myself, so I get out with the dog with my girlfriend. Go, the beach is only around the corner, so just walks and stuff like that. And then obviously playing on my PlayStation. I'm like a 15-year-old kid again, coming back from school, playing on my PlayStation all hours. So that's the only thing that's getting me through. And I'd like to say the footy, but I'm a Liverpool fan, so that's making it worse, if anything, to be honest.
I'm glad I never put my Everton shares on tonight. I wouldn't watch that. So is that why we've had someone, Scoey, come on asking us, where are we dropping?
It's, you know what, it depends who I'm playing with. If I'm playing with Kirky and Myler and Matty and Lloyd and Edgar, I'm dropping as far away from anyone else as possible so we can stay alive for a little bit. But if I'm with Scoey or some of the lads who are half decent, I'll get in the action. Kill a few people.
I don't know.
Who's saying that? I could always buy a new bag.
Yeah, Kirky's always hiding in the corner.
At least he's there. So, Kirky, you've been at the club quite a few years. Since you were a whippersnapper. How have you found the club has changed in the time you've been here?
To be honest, David, I've gone through a relegation with Prescott. I was part of that team that got relegated. I can remember that the final day of the season that happened, we were away, got beat, and a fan jumped on the pitch and he punched Andy Paxton, the goalie. It was crazy. And then from there, the club sort of had a bit of a lull. You know, there was times where we had no money coming in. We were playing for bonuses, or you know, we'd be getting like half wages sometimes, or expenses as they call them, and getting pound coins here and there in your wages some weeks. And now, you know, that the club's really starts to kick on the last couple of seasons and start to re-establish itself. Lots of teams hate coming to Prescott. The pitch doesn't really help, but the atmosphere and the way we play sometimes really puts people off. So it's good, you know. The Senior Cup wins really helped us, and then the playoff final as well. You know, it's really our reputation starting to grow again.
Yeah, I've seen that because I came to my first Cables game a few seasons ago. I think it was a Trafford game in the FA Cup, and the weather was lousy, but the crowd was quite healthy, and we've seen the crowds growing since then. Because it was a decent game, and every time I've been over, it's been a decent game. You've been part of all of those games. Do you feel that we've generally gone in the right direction, even though we've changed managers a few times, and we haven't maybe ended the season as we'd have liked to, maybe competing at the top end of the table? Do you feel that in those last 4 or 5 years that improvement is there that we can build on?
Yeah, I think when we were in the playoff final with Chris Almond, who was just like a freak. He was so good. He scored that. He only played 2/3 of the games, and he was top scorer. Got in the team of the year. He was so good. He pretty much took us there himself. But the club itself, as on the pitch, we started to develop, and it's a transition progress at the minute with Craig and Biggs in charge to try and get their ideas across. And obviously they've got an idea of how they want us to play, and we have to adapt sometimes and change the circumstances and the players you've got available, because obviously the pitches aren't like Wembley. We playing the ball bobbles up by your shins and your knees. You don't know where it's going, so. It's a transition period, and I think they're learning as well of the best way to get the most out of the squad. And I think we'll sort of see fruition of that next year, hopefully.
Well, I don't want to particularly put it on the spot, but do you think we could do it? Maybe reinforce some firepower? Do you think the squad generally is good? We have maybe not so much weaknesses, but somewhere we could bolster, because we've got a great midfield group, we've got a great defensive group, and the goalkeeping situation looks like it's settled down. But it seems to be, I'm saying, looking at it, that we shuffle our attacking options more than anything else.
I think when you're playing, you need sort of consistency, and you need to develop relationships. And whether it's being injuries or suspensions or for whatever reason, when you're swapping and changing lads, especially at the top end of the pitch, they need to develop their relationships and know how each other plays. We've got lads that are clever enough and are definitely good enough and know where the goal is to really, I'm sorry, the dog, to really score them goals and to get us up the top of the table. But like I said, sometimes football isn't all a bed of roses. We have to deal with that. You have to deal with things that are unexpected. Injuries, people not making training, people for whatever reason can't make a match day. It's difficult.
Well, I mean, you found yourself up in an attacking positions yourself more recently, playing in front of the back four. Is that something you would like to do a little bit longer term instead of going back to centre back?
No. No, I mean, I originally started as a centre mid. I probably used to play box to box, get up and down the pitch and affect things a lot more. And then over half the games I played for Prescott, I played centre half. So for me, going back into the middle, it's difficult. It's sort of learning a position again, and
you can tell.
I haven't got the legs in there anymore to get about the pitch as well as I used to. So for me, I'd rather play at the back and glad to get in there.
So you want to go back to centre back for the rest? I don't blame you. And MJ, as someone coming into this group that's been improving, I personally think you've offered us a little bit of an extra dimension to our play, because you're a little bit, we call you mercurial, I think. You can be quite unpredictable, quite lively. You've got an eye for a pass and an eye for getting on the end of a decent ball. How do you find that you've grown into your role initially to this season? I see you've been moving around a little bit more. Is that something you like to do?
What position? Like positionally wise, you mean?
Moving now, not maybe sort of being pigeonholed to say someone who goes on the left side, someone who goes on the right, someone who can sort of have a clear role.
To be honest, it's a tough one really, because I think I'm better centrally. I think you get the most out of me there. But if you'd have asked me like 4 or 5 years ago, I used to get put on the wing a lot, and I used to hate it because managers used to put me on the wing and they'd expect me to play like a winger, like beat me man, whip a cross in, and that's just not my game. But it wasn't really until a couple of years ago when Brian was at Prescott where I changed my game a little bit and started playing to my strengths on the wing. So if I can get in the box, in and around the box, I can make stuff happen. So instead of, when I was playing out on the wing, instead of trying to do the things that I'm not really good at, I changed and started doing the things I'm good at, and I think that's helped me. So really, I don't know, to be honest. I can play across the front. Really, it doesn't really bother me where I play. Whereas if you'd have asked me 4 or 5 years ago, I would have said I hate playing on the wing.
Fair enough.
I think as players, MJ's the type of lad that we need in the squad, like definitely playing every week, because he does things that no one else can do. Amount of penalties, free kicks he wins. It's no one else can do that in our team. He's so clever, his movement and things. So it's vital that he plays for us.
Well, it's funny. One of the things that a more creative player does, well, he stands out and becomes a target for the other side. So have you become conscious of that? Do you know people are going to target you, so you know you're going to be able to get a few free kicks, penalties?
Sometimes. I mean, I don't know if it's. I just try and be clever, to be honest. I mean, if you look at me, I'm 5'11" and I'm about 9.5 stone. You know, and that's when that's when my kit's wet. So I've had to try and like adapt my game really as I've grown up, and I always try and get myself between the man and the ball and protect the ball. But in terms of the penalties and stuff, I just feel like some of the defenders at our level, they're a bit clumsy, and if you get in the box, they're stumbling, and you can always nick something, and if you don't, you can create something. So I wouldn't say I feel targeted really, but I try and use that to my advantage type of thing.
Well, Paddy Fitz has asked us if you've actually got a target of how many penalties you try and get during the season. I think you've answered how you do it. Do you have a target?
No, I don't really have a target, to be honest. I set myself a target for goals, but I know a couple of seasons ago, I think I won like 19, 20 penalties in just over 20 games. So, I mean, that's if I was to set a target, that it wouldn't be that number, put it that way. That's very good.
Wow.
I must say so myself.
So, moving on, Kirky, you've been at the club quite a while. How would you sort of, if you had to do a quick plot of history of the last 10 years in the game, starting with how you got your nickname, run us through it.
Right, so I got the nickname when I was at Bearscough, and I can remember it was the first away trip, sat on a bus as like a 17-year-old, didn't really know anyone, and I sort of just kept my head down at the front, and then on the way back, obviously the lads were having a drink and things, and started throwing like jelly babies at my head, I think it was, and he was shouting Kirk, and I was like, what's going on here? He carried on, and I turned around, and he went, wow, where's Fizz? And then I was like, what? And he was like, where's Fizz? And it just sort of stuck, so I became known as Kirk off Corrie, so that's where the nicknames come from. And it sort of stuck from there, you know. I come from Bearscough straight to Prescott, where Andy just introduced me to the lads as Kirk, and Robbie Mack came with me at the same time, and that helped me settle into Prescott, and everyone just knows me as Kirk. You know, I go around now and no one knows my first name. It is just as Kirk. So
I didn't even know that.
Didn't you?
I've always called you Kirk, never knew the story behind it.
So you've never seen Star Trek?
And then, yeah, from there, you know, I think I played at Prescott for the first, like 5 months. It was from January through to the May time. And towards the end of that first season, I was captain and we got relegated, which isn't good to have on your CV, I suppose, at such a young age. And then Andy Gray left us and went to Bearscough, and I followed Andy back to Bearscough. Stayed there for a little while and then come back to Prescott. Like I said, I've seen so many different managers. I must have played with close to 1,000 players now. It was like a revolving door at one stage. We'd have kids coming in left, right and centre signing forms. You know, I think when Dave Powell was in charge, we must have had 100 odd people signed on in one season, which was just, it was frightening. You couldn't even remember all the names of the lads that you've been playing with. Like I said, I think we wanted the club to have ambition and to really want to drive forward, and we struggled with that for a number of years. But now I think that the clubs, with the three chairmen, you know, there's Joe, Matt and Jamie, that are trying to take the club in the right direction and push us on a lot more. And I think, you know, the fan base, we have what we average 400, is it? Something like that.
Yeah.
It's great. It's the club's on the right track to do well. It's got the right infrastructure there.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of the purposes of Talking Bulls is to sort of reveal what's going on at the club, certainly during the lockdown, give people an idea of how things run. And we will get to the Matt and Jamie, I think they're up next in a couple of weeks, and that'll really deliver. But like you say, the club has improved not just on the pitch, but in that infrastructure as well. We're trying to grow the community. That's one of the things we've got our big media team for, and they do a great job. And hopefully you'll be working more with them over the next few weeks and the next few months. MJ, yourself, I think your last 10 years is a little bit more varied, shall we say, than the Skippers.
Yeah.
So that would how you end up with MJ. So how'd you end up being called MJ?
What you say, sorry, you broke up. So it's Junior is my middle name basically. So I've just been called MJ since I was a kid. I mean, my mum's probably watching this now, but she obviously gave me the name. Do you know what I mean? And it's just stuck since I was a kid. And I hate being called Michael, to be honest. I only ever get called Michael by like teachers, or if I'm in trouble. None of my family, none of my friends call me Michael. So it's just kind of stuck. I mean, I'd like to say something better, like I'm a good basketball player, so I got named after Michael Jordan or whatever, but it's just not that.
So you started young yourself, didn't you? But you didn't really want to be a player. You wanted to hit people.
What? I can't hear you, sorry.
Sorry, when you were younger, you didn't necessarily want to be a football player. You wanted to be a pugilist.
a boxer, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that was kind of I don't know why that was kind of my first sport. I always liked footy, but I don't think I was good enough as a kid, and I knew I used to box with a fella called Sid Savanki, round the corner from my house, and I just loved doing it for some reason. It was just something that stuck with me. But around the age of like 14, 15, I'd say I proper started taking footy serious, and I never really thought of playing in the Premier League or whatever, but I've always been competitive, so I just wanted to be the best I could be, and yeah, it's just took me, yeah.
Well,
what weight class were you, MJ?
Let's not talk about weight classes.
You've had a few clubs. You've been at Bersco, and you had an adventure down under. That was a particular highlight, I understand.
Yeah, probably the standout highlight. Well, actually, yeah, it is. I mean, I always speak to my girlfriend now. She came with me, and I always say, like, to look back and know that you got flown across the other side of the world and someone took care of you so you could play football for them. It's just something that'll stick with me forever. It was such a good experience, and we talk about it every day now, to the point where we say we might move back in the future, but. Yeah, that's easily the standout highlight in my life so far.
So how do you find the has the experience maybe changed you? Do you find major differences between the standard and football?
I wouldn't say it's changed me. When I went there, I got told, like, the president, Mario, he's probably watching this as well, but he warned me about how physical it was over there and stuff like that, and I was like, it's fine, it's physical over here, it is what it is. And I went over there, and it was a different type of physical. It was, the refereeing standard was so bad, so like I'd just get kicked and I wouldn't get free kicks, whereas at least here most of the time, I mean, the refereeing standard's not the best here, but at least if you're getting kicked about here, it seems to be dealt with a lot more over there. But I don't know whether it's made me a lot more mature as a player. I had to go through some things over there, physically and mentally. I broke my leg like 4 games in, and that was very hard to deal with. Like, I didn't know whether I was going to get sent back home, or I just didn't know. I didn't know if I was going to come back, and I managed to come back after about 12 weeks and play the rest of the season. Like, and we ended up getting promoted, so I came out the other side of it. But so it's obviously life experiences. It's matured me, and it has helped me.
Now, you say you felt you weren't good enough. You've now been playing, maybe a bit over 10 years, same as Kirky. You two have crossed paths a few times. Kirky, would you say he's not good enough?
Do you want to take it, MJ, or do you want me to take it?
Yeah, I'll take it. So basically, we've played against each other a lot of times, and it's always been a battle. I mean, I've been at a lot of different clubs where we've played Prescott and Bersco and whatnot, and Kirky's been there, and he's any club you go to, if you mention Prescott, they always bring up Kirky and bring, oh, they got that horrible centre back there, haven't they? And a few years ago, well, it must have been about 4 or 5 years ago now, I was at Trafford. It was probably that game you were talking about. You was at the FA Cup one. I was actually at Trafford at the time, and Kirky went through me like and injured me that game. And then the next season, I got him back. Obviously, I didn't let him get away with it. But
just make sure you mention a bit where, like, you message me on Twitter to get you down to Preston.
I'd blame Sammy Lawson for that.
So you say we were plotting revenge from the minute the game ended?
Yeah, from the minute he done it, to be honest. That wasn't the first time he got me, to be fair.
So are we calling it all square and we're all mates now?
We're mates. It's never square.
So you say, I mean, you've said to me you're quite competitive. Does that, because I know how Kirky's quite competitive, how does that go onto the training ground?
Yeah, I mean, we have battles like it. Training to training. I'm just competitive in it and what I do. I wouldn't say like me and Kirk have a bigger battle than anyone else. But yeah, what do you think, Kirk?
I think there's a lot of lads who hate losing, don't they, in training?
Yeah.
So regardless of what you do, you want to win, whether it's five-a-side, whether it's shooting, whatever it is, you want to win. And I think that's why a lot of lads are at our level, and because you want to push yourself, don't you? You don't want to be getting beat every week and accept rubbish, really. And at Prescott, we had that for a long time, but now it's changed. Like I said, the atmosphere, the attitude, it's good.
Brilliant. Now we've had an interesting situation develop, because I understand, Kirky, after a particular away match, you didn't chip in for the beers. So we all enjoyed the crate on the coach, apparently.
Yeah. What one?
Still waiting to put your hand in. So we've got a promise for you. Yeah, apparently we had a bit of a whip round on the coach for an away game. Crate for the trip home. You didn't put your hand in the whip, and we got a promise from you to buy the next round when we've got fans back in.
I mean, I'll happily buy the beers, the bus. Yeah, but I don't think I've ever missed out.
I mean, I weren't there, but it sounds a lot like Kirk, to be honest.
Hang on, right. Listen, the tip bag comes down to tip Robbie the driver, and MJ throws bottle tops in. That's how bad it is. If I'm skipping out, it's MJ.
Which, are you sure is the only thing he's skipped out on? Apparently, you know a song, apparently, MJ.
What's that?
Apparently, you know us a song.
Oh, no, not today.
He's been back at Prescott twice now, is he? And he still hasn't done an initiation song.
Oh, come on. No, I did. The first time I didn't sing because I said, it's only fair. You can't sing on a loss. It's disrespectful to the fans on the coach and the committee. It just shouldn't happen. So I got away with the first one because we just kept losing. But I did sing this year.
I think we should change the rules that you've got to sing on the way to the game.
I mean, just for one for in the future, David, as well. We yet to hear Lloyd sing, so that'll be one to.
Oh, that's one to look forward to. Which leads me right on. We've actually got a question. If you were up on the karaoke stage, which song would you pick and why?
Well, first of all, I'd probably thank Dodger. I'd dodge it for as long as I could. And then I'd go safe. I'd probably go Wonderwall, to be honest, because you just need to get everyone singing with you. If you start singing a song and people aren't singing, it's bad news. I've been in like a coach with people, with some lads, and they've gone with like Usher or Chris Brown, and no.
Yeah, into the coach.
I mean, I'd probably go for American Pie. It goes on about 10, so I get the most stage time.
Sure.
Right, so you've played with many players, many players. Certainly at one club, hundreds, like you said earlier. But obviously, you come across many players. So, if you had to try and do a short list of one, who would you say is the most naturally talented player either of you have played with? Kirky, you first.
In terms of what he done for us, I'd have to say Chris Almond. Hands down. I don't think anyone comes near him, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would disagree.
I mean, I was going to go with Chris Almond. I find it hard to argue with you, but I played with some good players. I played with a lad, Sean Williams. He plays for Ulti now. Centre midfield. He's only small. I played with him at Telford. He's technically just unbelievable. But I mean, if Kirk hadn't have said Chris Almond, I'd have said Chris Almond 100%. But I'd take it out of them too, probably.
Fair enough. So, Kirk, if I had to say to you, expand that and pick an all-time five-a-side team from Cables players you played with, who would be in it?
Oh my God.
You going first or me?
Well, no, I'll let you take that.
Well, no, I'm going to do it slightly different for MJ because he hasn't been all those years. You've got to do it from the current squad, MJ.
Yeah. The current one. Can I not do it? I can do it from the last. I was here a couple of years ago, weren't I? Yeah, I'll do it from now. So I'd have to go Mitch in goal. We're playing five-a-side. You need your keeper to be good with his feet, and he's very good with his feet. And then I'd go Kirky. You'd have to come in just because you're a loudmouth and you need them in five-a-side. Chris Almond. Am I playing in the team?
If you want to.
Am I picking four around me or just five?
Yeah, four around you, yeah.
Yeah, so you'd go Mitch, Kirk, Chris Almond, me, and that's a tough one, the last one. It's a toss-up between Matty and Lloyd. I'd have to go Lloyd because I think Matty would get pushed off the ball in five-a-side too much. Sorry, Matty. Lloyd would have to lose a little bit of weight first, though.
Kirky.
I'm going to drop myself. I'm going to go very, very attacking and play no defenders. I'm going to go. I'll go Mitch. In fact, I'll play myself in goal. I'll probably go Mitch in goal just because he's quality cat. Go technical. I'll go Matty, MJ. I've them two. I'll go Chris Almond, and I'll go from the very first season when I came. I mean, I missed him at his prime, but he could do, like, he was so quality on the ball. Go Carl Connolly. Go Lugger.
Which team do you reckon would have won that
match?
I mean, you won't be able to get the ball off my lad, so it has to be me.
Yeah, but you'd concede a lot of goals, wouldn't you, to be fair?
You've got Mitch.
So we.
So if you're captain, who's managing your side?
Has it got to be like
a
Prescott managers or just any manager?
Go with Cables managers, yeah.
Mine's Brian. Got to be Brian.
Brian was a great man manager, very, very good. But you know what? I'm gonna go a coach, and
Steve Hillen.
No, God rest him. Steve Hill. He's well known around Liverpool. Very good coach. He's passed away now, but he was very good, very technical. I'd have him as my manager.
Excellent.
Five-a-side anyway.
We've got a question in from Phil in Edinburgh. Carl Furlong, Bong apparently. What was he really like in the dressing room under Dave Powell?
Bong was like an anomaly. I've never known anything like him. I don't think there's any words to describe. He was like a box of frogs. Honestly, I've never known a character like him. He'd come in, he had the biggest chest, like the ball just stick on his shelf. It was crazy. No one said the ball off him. And I can always remember one game he spray painted his boots gold, and he turned up. He had these boots spray painted gold, Oh my God, it was crazy. But like Sean Mara loves him, honestly. The Bong, absolutely brilliant in the dressing room. Yeah, I'd have him in my dressing room any day of the week.
MJ, you bumped into any similar characters?
To Carl, there's just no one like him. He's one
MJ,
of a kind.
have you know anyone like that?
What, our characters?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 90% of the goalkeepers I've played with. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to name some names, but I've played with people where they've got in the shower and they've weed on the footy boots, you know, to clean the boots and stuff, and they're just some weird characters, but I won't name them.
Right, if I had to put you on the spot and say what's your favourite moment in the cable share, what would you say?
I mean, mine's quite easy. For me to go first. It'll be the winner against Runcorn Linnets at home. When we first spell here a couple of seasons ago now, it was 1-1, and they'd had 2 men sent off, and we just had all the ball for the whole game. Like, I think Kirky got one of their lads sent off to play acting, but we had all of the ball, and I think it was late on, like late 80 minutes, and I scored. Like, so that's probably the best for me.
Kirky?
That I can remember. That was dead. They always put that on Twitter, don't they? For the
Yeah.
How loud it was when that went in. I think we played. Added at the first Senior Cup final. I think that was the start of something for us. The semi-final at home in the playoffs when we played Trafford.
Yeah, that was very good as well.
That's up there. That's one of my favourite memories. I think one of my favourite games that we played there. Definitely. I think I just said the playoff final, but we got beat. So
yeah, I know.
So in your time, last 10 years have been reasonably varied. We've known lots of players, we have lots of managers, bumped into lots of characters, lots of highlights, some lowlights. What would you say has made Cables different to other clubs you've either worked with or know about? Because we talked to other players and managers, and we hear about other clubs this and other clubs that. How has Cables been different for you?
As a local lad, I can remember going to watch Prescott as a kid with my dad a couple of times, and you know, you see that big stand, and you think, whoa, like, there's something this, and then you realise it's not the way when you get a bit older. But the community at Prescott, it really is a nice community. When you walk in, it feels, it's like a warmly feel. You know, the dressing room's great. Everyone gets on. There's no falling out, and if anyone does fall out, the line's under it pretty quickly. There's no bitchiness that goes on. Yeah, everyone, there's a good rapport between the fans and the players, which definitely helps. You see that when we score, or you know, after the games when we come in the bar. Yeah, there's a lot that helps, and I think the dressing room and the lads in it definitely help to keep that bond together.
I can add to that from the other side, because I suppose you've been there for years, Kirk, but anytime I've played against Prescott for other teams, I've played for like Manchester clubs and whatever, and it's all, no one ever likes playing against Prescott. And I've been in dressing rooms where we've been beaten before we've gone out, because they don't want to play against Prescott with 11, 15 scousers, and then the lads on the side giving abuse to you. It's horrible. So coming into it on the other side is like, you feel like you're going in one up sometimes.
Brilliant. Well, obviously you are the first, MJ, you're the first player we've had on the contract since Rob Doran. How easy a decision for that to make? Where was that decision to make for you?
Yeah, I mean, and at this level, anytime you get a contract, it's a massive thing, because it doesn't happen a lot, and you can never really rely on the finances of football, because as you see now, like, a lot of lads won't be getting paid, and sometimes there's games off, so you can just never rely on that. So to have that secure and out your mind type of thing is a massive part for me, because you don't have to think about that then, so you can solely concentrate on your football. And it also shows you like how much, how much faith Matt, Jamie, and the management team have put into you.
Yeah.
So it's an easy decision whenever people come to you like that. I mean, I wouldn't say no a lot of the time. So
Do you think it's put you under any extra pressure?
No, I mean, I put massive amounts of pressure on myself anyway, just to be the best I can, and especially when you're playing with your mates, you don't want to let your mates down, the teammates. But I'd hate. I've said to a few of the lads before, I'd hate to go home and then be like, he's not working hard, or he's not running, he doesn't want to play for us, or he's playing for money or whatever. I'd hate that. That's one of the worst things I can think of. So I wouldn't say it's put extra pressure on me, because I put massive amounts of pressure on myself. If my girlfriend will vouch for me, if I lose a game or if I play bad, I come home, it sticks with me, because that's the type of pressure I put on myself.
Excellent. Sorry to hit you with that one so late. I meant to ask that one earlier. So let's take a little bit of the pressure off. We've got we're running short on time now. We've got a few of the daft questions we expect. So it's time to throw a few people under the bus. Who's the worst trainer?
When Craig joins in, it's definitely 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Like,
a certain Jamie from Prescott has asked, who's got the worst haircut?
oh,
I
mean, I mean, Kirk can't really answer that question.
No.
That's why he's hiding his hairline. But playing wing backs. But yeah, I'd have to go with Sean Marler. That's a really bad haircut. I had to fix his haircut one day in footy because it was that bad.
Right.
There's a few in glass houses in our team. Show that there, because James Edgar's shocking. Cooper.
Yeah, Matthew Hamilton's got a bad one going on as well.
Lloyd, how does Lloyd get away with it?
Lloyd, yeah. To be fair, I've done his hair the last couple of times, so it's been alright.
Surely you've got a few candidates for customers there. How about who spends longest in the mirror after the game?
Oh, easy. Josh Klein-Davies.
Yeah,
100%. Did you say before the game or after? It doesn't matter.
And who's always last out for the warm-up?
That'll be me, yeah. I'm always on the bed with Crossy getting a massage, so yeah, that'll be me.
And finally, if you could choose a piece of music to walk out to before the game, what would it be?
As in, like, coming from the stage, coming from the system, or coming out the dressing room?
No, coming on the system, into the ground, a bit like Zed Cars.
Tough on that.
Oh, we've stumped you there, haven't we?
I'd have to go All of the Lights.
Hellbrook.
Yeah.
Come out jabbing. Probably go like something crazy, like some mad, yeah, AC/DC or something. Marley, love that.
Sometimes the music's shocking in the dressing room, like when Matty and Marley are on the tunes.
Oh, so who's the worst DJ in the dressing room then?
Well, we had Edgy. We actually had a DJ.
DJ
come in, and he didn't take the baton really, did he? But I'd have to say Matty's music's poor. It makes you want to sit down with a glass of wine and just have something to eat before the game.
I'll stick up for Matty there, because I think on a coach, Matty's music's decent.
Yeah, but that's different. When we're on like a 2-hour journey, that's fine. But when you're about to walk out to a game and he's got David Gray, Babylon on, it's not for me.
Josh Klein stays in a safe lane, though. I think.
Yeah, he does.
He stays very safe with the classics.
Top 40.
Yeah. Flem's got a questionable music choice apparently, but I'm
Yeah,
yet to
he
read
has.
it. Apparently it's shocking.
Now we've had the late question coming from Laura Benson. Who does all the dancing on the bus?
Laura and Aaron. Best, honestly, Aaron Lyons deserves a lifetime season ticket to Prescott Cable.
Yeah.
He should be there. That lad supports us through thick thin. He's there every week. You know, I love seeing him there. It's great that he is part of us, and the lads love him as well. So yeah,
I
it's
agree.
important to keep people like Aaron and around our club.
Yeah. Right, finally, we are done. Have you got a message for the fans before we go?
Just really can't wait to get back, to be honest, and everyone just needs to look after themselves. Obviously, a lot of people are going through certain things mentally. Everyone's situation is difficult at the time, so we can't wait to get back as a group, and we're all so positive that we're going to do something good in the future, and hopefully that's going to be next season. So that's something to look forward to. We're all looking forward to it, and we can't wait to get the fans back in.
Before you come to you, Kirky, Aaron Lyons has said thank you. That means a lot.
Just me to go.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, just basically to echo what MJ said, and thank you for all the continued support. And if anyone needs anything, message the lads. We're here as well as a soundbox. It's difficult for everyone. It's a tough time. We help each other get through, and it's not forever. Hopefully, we'll be out of it in a few weeks' time, a few months, and some sort of normality will resume. So yeah, if anyone needs anything, just give us a little shout.
Brilliant. Thanks, lads. We are done. We're finished. Thanks for watching. We are going to have the video up and available on YouTube not long after we've finished. I'd like to say thanks to Kirky and MJ for the time tonight. It's been brilliant. I'm looking forward to the next one. Take care, lads, and hope to see you back on the pitch soon.
Appreciate that.
All right.
See you later.
All right. See you later.
Cheers, Trap.